It's the Mets, the next generation. First round draft pick in the fold, and now the Mets of today will try and set about winning their last series before the All-Star break. The Marlins are in town, and the Mets looking to keep the winning ways going. 5-2 so far on this final homestand before the break. At Citi Field in New York, the New York Mets play the Miami Marlins. And a pleasant good evening, everybody, and welcome to Citi Field. Gary Cohen, Ron Darling, Keith Hernandez with you tonight as the Mets open a weekend series against the Marlins. The Mets today signed their first-round draft pick, Michael Conforto, an outfielder out of Oregon State. They're hoping he'll make a quick ascent to the major leagues. Meanwhile, they'll play a team tonight that has one of the best young outfields in baseball, the Miami Marlins.
Well, when you think of the Miami Marlin outfield, of course you think of Giancarlo Stanton, hitting .299, leading the National League in home runs with 21, leading the National League with RBIs at 63, a strong arm in right field, can play right field, but not so fast. They got two other guys that are pretty good. Christian Yelich, who missed a couple of weeks with a lower back strain, his first 10 games back since coming off the DL, hitting .356 in 45 at-bats, and 7 of those games are multi-hit games. And then you got the center fielder tonight, Marcell Ozuna, hitting .279, 15 home runs, which is a surprise, 51 RBIs, supplying some clutch hitting. And you all remember the last series, the Mets had a 4-game sweep in line, and his 2 strong throws from left field saved the win for the Marlins.
The guy presented with the task of holding down that trio is Zach Wheeler, and so far the Marlins have been his panacea. He's been able to pitch wonderfully every time he's faced them.
You know, if there's any team that he would like to face, it is the Marlins. He has been outstanding in 4 career starts against the Marlins. You see his numbers just off the planet. He's got his only shutout of his career against the Marlins, and he's happy to see them come in town.
And then there's the Miami starter, Henderson Alvarez, who's been just as good against the Mets.
And exactly, 4 starts, 4-0 against the Mets with that minuscule ERA. He's a guy that works quick, throws ground balls, does not throw a lot of pitches.
The Marlins have won the last 10 games that Henderson Alvarez has started. The Mets will try and break that string tonight. Mets and Marlins, all the action coming your way tonight, right here on SNY. to you by Verizon. Enter today for a chance to watch the Mets take batting practice on the field when you visit the Verizon studio at Citi Field or Mets.com/Verizon. By Geico. My Lexus, introducing a car designed with one purpose: to stand apart. The 2014 Lexus IS. It's your move. By Citi. Every time the Mets hit a home run at Citi Field, Citi will make a donation of $2,000 to a local community partner, courtesy of the Citi Thank You program. Track donations at Mets.com/Citi. By Hain Celestial. This weekend, donate non-perishable food items outside Citi Field prior to each game for the Mets Food Drive, presented by Hain Celestial, benefiting Island Harvest. And concluding the longest billboard in history, Bud Light Lime, the perfect beer for whatever happens. Huey Lewis in the News is coming to Citi Field for a concert after the Mets-Marlins game tomorrow as part of the Mets concert series presented by Dwayne Reed. Catch Huey Lewis in the News live in concert this Saturday. For tickets, visit Mets.com/concerts. Time now for the Coldwell Banker home field advantage, and the Mets have certainly enjoyed a fine homestand. Took 2 out of 3 from Texas, 3 out of 4 from Atlanta, averaging nearly 5 runs per game on the homestand so far. And they've won 5 of the 7. Starters have been particularly good, and Terry Collins hopes that will continue tonight with Zach Wheeler on the mound facing the Marlins. First pitch coming up from Citi Field. Success against the teams they'll be facing tonight. Zach Wheeler has a shutout against the Marlins. Henderson Alvarez has a shutout against the Mets. Who's going to have the upper hand tonight? Will it be as advertised? Or will the hitters finally figure them out? Starting lineup for the Miami Marlins tonight. Christian Yelich has been back for about 10 days from the disabled list and swinging the bat very well. Marcell Ozuna, 15-game hitting streak, longest in the majors right now. And, of course, Giancarlo Stanton leading the National League in homers and RBIs. Casey McGee, big RBI bat, left off the All-Star team, and he's been swinging well in the wake of that snub.
Well, usually I ignore these Caesar numbers, but we're going to go all over them today because it's the end of the first half. Less hits than innings pitched. 44 walks, 99 Ks, around a little over 2-to-1 ratio. And that whip a little high for Zach. You'd love that to be more in the 1-2s.
Christian Yelich leads things off. 10 games back from the disabled list, hitting .356 over those 10 games. Just 22 years old, the youngest of that talented trio in the Miami outfield. And Zach Wheeler's first pitch of the night is a fastball just outside for ball one. Yelich, Solano, and Stanton for the Marlins in the opening inning. This is the third leg of a road trip for Miami. They won 2 of 3 in St. Louis, lost 2 of 3 in Arizona over the weekend, and now final stop here before the All-Star break.
Well, on this road trip, which is every bit as critical for this team as this homestand is for the Mets, Steve Cishek, the closer, has blown 2 saves on this trip for the Marlins.
Their last game on Wednesday, he had a 2-run lead in the 10th, did not retire a batter, gave up 3 runs, and that was that. 2-1 coming to Yelich, and he fouls away the fastball. Wheeler throwing very hard in the early going, 97, 98 miles an hour.
You know, Keith, you say it all the time. Wheeler might have a good game, he might have a bad game, but he brings it every time.
He doesn't leave that fastball at home on the couch.
Well, the last 2 have been good games. Sunday against Texas, 1 run in 6 1/3, got his first home victory of the season. And Yelich takes one at his feet, 3-2. Wheeler's put together very good back-to-back starts after the drubbing he took from Oakland. Things starting to point in the right direction for Zach. But his best start of all, that was the one against Miami. Ground ball right at Murphy. Yelich can't get out of the batter's box, and Murphy throws him out for the first out of the night.
And now we'll take a look at the Metropolitan defense. That's brought to you by Lexus. Neuenhuis gets another start in left field tonight. Lagares, he's got center field covered. And the infield has been a constant for the Mets now. D'Arnaud starting to hit. Look out, folks.
Here's Donovan Solano. When the Mets were in Miami in late June, Rafael Furcal got hurt again. Then Derek Dietrich went down with a wrist injury, so they've settled on Solano for the moment as their second baseman. And he's been swinging the bat a little bit better. Solano had a good series, particularly in St. Louis, which is where the Marlins got him from. 26-year-old from Colombia. And he fouls away the fastball, 1-1. For Wheeler, this is his 5th career start against Miami. In the 4 starts, he's given up a total of 12 hits. None for extra bases.
That's amazing.
I'll give you an idea how dominant he's been against this club. A good curveball is fouled off. 1-2. ERA under 1. 12 hits, all singles. It's just complete and utter dominance. Culminating in that 3-hit shutout, 1-0 victory that he threw on June the 19th. Giancarlo Stanton waits on deck. 1-2 to Solano, and he fouls away the fastball. This Marlins team strikes out more than any in the league. They're 4th in the National League in runs scored, but they are a free swinging bunch. One, 2. Tapper foul. First innings have been a concern for Wheeler this year. Not as much as Bartolo Colon, but his ERA is 6.5 in the first inning. So when he's found trouble, it's usually been early. With Colon, it's become almost an epidemic. You can see the numbers on Wheeler. And the curveball got him. Solano down on strikes, 2 away.
Well, we don't see Zach Wheeler strike out a lot of hitters on the curveball, but he does here with Solano. Good one right at him, makes him buckle just enough to get that ball below the bat.
Well, if you're going to beat the Marlins, it's essential that you bring Giancarlo Stanton to the plate with the bases empty, and Wheeler does that first time around. Stanton still leading the National League in home runs and RBIs, but he's been a little chilly lately. 3 for 24 on their current road trip, 0 for his last 12. And the slider off the plate, 2-0.
And it's a long season. The fact that he's hitting .299, and the most important factor, you look at it at Stanton's rankings, is that he's stayed healthy this year. It's always been an issue for him.
So that ranking in go-ahead RBI at the bottom. Will pop up into shallow center, and Murphy goes out to call, and that retires the side. They don't have the game-winning RBI anymore. That's because Keith, he killed the column.
Obliterated.
He got too many.
No.
They just got rid of it. Geico Mets starting lineup tonight. Pitcher in the 9-hole. Good to see Lagares and Nieuwenhuis together in the lineup. Nieuwenhuis has swung the bat well since coming back from Vegas. And the Mets will try and figure out a way against a guy who's had their number, Henderson Alvarez.
Well, Henderson, you see the Toyota numbers. He's averaging about 6 1/3 innings per start. 3 shutouts, of course, on the season. Averaging about 3 1/3 pitch. 3.35 pitches against each hitter, and most importantly, 5 home runs given up. No one hits a home run off.
Curtis Granderson will lead things off. In fact, the Mets have faced Alvarez 6 times, and they've never hit a home run against him. First pitch he throws of the game is a little strange. It's the only time he'll do that all night.
Almost like he's paying homage to the hitter in the game. Here we go, folks.
Bowing.
I'm going to start.
Now I'm ready. Granderson pops one up. Coming toward the line is Yelich. And that's the first out.
Take a quick look at the Marlin defense, and that's brought to you by Coors Light. We mentioned the outfield in the open. That's a pretty good trio right there. All-star on the right-hand side. In right field, Garrett Jones really played not only against left-handers. McGee having a terrific year, and Sultan Lamakia, who had a concussion earlier, has been back in the lineup since actually the last series in Miami when the Mets were there. He returned, having a kind of an off year.
Each of these teams has only one player going to the All-Star game. Giancarlo Stanton for the Marlins, Daniel Murphy for the Mets. Murphy takes ball 1. You can certainly make the argument that the Marlins should have 2 other All-Stars. The guy on the mound right now, Alvarez, and Casey McGee.
To make a small little play for Marcell Ozuna, too. But McGee should definitely be an All-Star. Hey, there's Murph.
Very good, Murph.
Now has his All-Star jersey.
Congratulations.
It's great.
That was a Dylan song.
So he got the All-Star jersey, which is red and black. Is that homage to the Mets signing their draft pick? Well, that's right. Oregon State, they're more orange and black.
Orange and black, yes. Like the Cowboys of Oklahoma State.
Or Princeton. On the inside corner, Murphy caught looking. And that's the second out.
That's what Alvarez does so well, folks, against left-hand hitters. He can't live on that outside corner. He throws inside, paint. Little Cezanne right there.
Very nice.
Still life, right? That's what you were going for.
You're pretty still when you take strike 3.
So 2 out and nobody on now. David Wright. David's had a little success against Alvarez. Not many of these Met hitters have. 6 for 16 against him. That's a 375 clip. And it's on the corner for a strike. Alvarez striking out Murphy, but in this era of the strikeout, he goes against the grain. Only 5.5 strikeouts per 9 innings. He is very reliant, as Ronnie said, on getting quick outs, getting tons of ground balls.
He just he's an anomaly. He in this day and age where everyone wants to light up the radar gun and strike out hitters, he just wants to get outs, and that's the name of the game anyway. Always has been.
And he does get outs. And as you said, Gary, only 22 walks coming into this game in 115 innings. That's sterling.
And that's his last 9 starts, a 1.04 ERA. Almost Kershaw-esque.
His last 10 starts, the Marlins are 10-0. They don't lose when he takes them out.
It's fouled off David's leg. Clayton Kershaw, the only better ERA over that stretch. Of course, Kershaw
struggled last night.
Went 41 innings without allowing a run until gave up a home run to Chase Headley last night.
But he complete game effort.
So how about this? Kershaw missed 5 weeks. 5 weeks. He's 11-2.
It's a mockery. He makes a mockery of the game.
He's got a great curveball. He's got a very deceptive herky-jerky shoulder lift motion. Hard to pick up.
Keith, if you look at his numbers, he's added a wipeout change to all the cutter, curveball, high gas, and wipeout change.
If Kershaw hadn't missed the 5 weeks, would he be looking at a 25-win season?
He'd be looking at that Ubaldo Jimenez start in Colorado when he was 15-1.
Yeah. Well, 11-2 is not bad with a 1.78 ERA. David with a long turn at bat here against Alvarez.
He had 10 wins a couple times, or 10-9, or 9 wins one year, 10 wins another, and you're like, boy, this is going to be the year. And sometimes it doesn't. It's not. It's not as easy sometimes. That first half, just everything goes right at times. It's like hitting 350 in the first half. You think, boy, I'm going to have a great year, unless you end up hitting 310 for the year.
Very calmly chewing that gum. Very poised on the mound.
9th pitch of the at bat coming to Wright, and he hits it sharply through the hole. And the Mets have their first base run.
Well, he switched gears to a breaking ball and left it inside.
Shook off Saltalamacchia. You're right, Keith.
Hung it.
Well, Ronnie talked about Alvarez as an anomaly, and part of that is the fact that Alvarez gives up more hits than innings pitched. In fact, only 4 pitchers in the National League coming into tonight had given up more hits than Henderson Alvarez, and yet he's giving up nothing. 2-out base runner for Duda. Lucas took an 0 for last night, but he's had a very hot stretch. Last 17 games, .439 on base percentage, .618 slugging percentage. Travis d'Arnaud hitting 5th in the order for the 2nd straight night.
Well, that has some nasty sink on it. Think about Alvarez, folks. You see someone who sinks the baseball. A lot of guys do that. but it's how late the sink is. And that's the thing about Alvarez, is that it looks like a four-seam straight fastball to the last second.
Duda seems very comfortable in the cleanup spot in the order. He's been hitting there for the last couple games. I have no issue with him in that 4-hole. He's starting to come around more aggressive, swinging the bat with more authority.
Well, and his success there frees Granderson up to hit leadoff, which has been a winning formula for the Mets lately. Two to Duda. On the inside corner, Alvarez went there to get Murphy and goes right back there to strike out Duda. That's it for the Mets in the bottom of the first. Wheeler back to the mound for the second. No score. Field this weekend. Bring non-perishable food items with you to the game to drop off at the gates. All food collected goes to City Harvest. Donate 5 or more items and you get 2 free ticket vouchers to a future game. For more information, go to Mets.com/food drive. Nathan's hot dogs not included. Casey McGee leads off in the second, hits the first pitch on the ground to his counterpart at third base. And David Wright throws him out. 1 pitch and 1 retired for Wheeler in the second.
It's interesting. Early in the game, the track is a little slow because they wet the infield and then it's just a little slow coming out of the gate.
Well, we've seen both Yelich and McGee get stuck in the batter's box after hitting ground balls. Now Garrett Jones and the Mets put on the full shift against the left-hand power hitter.
He is an all or nothing kind of hitter, low ball hitter, typical lefty. He's got some pop. All 10 of his home runs against right-handers, limited time against left-handers.
Mets have done a good job against him. He's just 4 for 29 against Met pitching, and Wheeler likes his curveball early in this game.
He's got a good one.
He's got a good one. It's the best one I've seen all year.
Quickly ahead on Jones, 0-2.
amazing the beginning of your career. You start to get a good feeling against a certain team. Mine was the Atlanta Braves. It was like, bring the Atlanta Braves in. If I'm struggling, let me face them. And for Wheeler, it's been the Miami Marlins.
Now, does that tend to be a particular characteristic about a team's hitters, or is it just you enjoy some early success against them and that makes you feel more invincible?
Combination. You feel invincible against them because you had success, and they were not very good when I first started pitching against them. 83, 84, 85, 86.
Horner had to be the big guy to get out, right?
Murph.
Dale Murphy.
Dale Murphy.
He gave you trouble?
No, but I thought he was a better hitter. Like,
really?
Well, I shouldn't say that. Horner had holes. He didn't like the ball up. He was a down hitter.
Right.
So if you pitched him across the board, across the chest, you all right. Murph, you could throw a ball in the outside corner. You could hit it over the right field wall.
Yes, he could.
2-2 to Jones, and he hits it right into the shift, and there's Murphy to pick off the liner. 2 out. Ronnie was 13-3 against the Braves. Well, they've both been feeling invincible against the opposition. Faced each other once earlier this season. In that game, Wheeler allowed 1 run and Alvarez gave up 2. Wound up a 4-3 Met win.
And career-wise, Alvarez is 4-1 against the Mets in 6 starts with a 2.21.
And that includes a bad start that he made while he pitched for the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
He gave up 6 runs in that start. So since then, he's been even better. Here's Marcell Ozuna with 2 out, and it takes a slider off the plate. Ozuna, the hottest hitter in the Miami lineup right now. 15-game hitting streak, the longest current streak in the majors, hitting .368 during the 15 games.
He is a hacker.
Hit right off a fist down to Duda, and Wheeler's got 2 perfect innings under his belt to start his night. Darno will lead off for the Mets in the bottom of the 2nd with no score. To you by Cholula Hot Sauce, the hot sauce with the iconic wooden cap, available in original flavor, chili lime, chili garlic, and chipotle. Travis d'Arnaud leads off the home 2nd inning.
Really swinging the bat good of late since his recall, I should say.
He had a couple of chances last night with men on base, couldn't get it done, but then had a base hit his last time up.
Very impressive at bat. You know, the 3rd at bat in the 5th.
Drives this one to left field. Yelich gets back on it.
He's going to be fine. He swings the bat like that, Gare. The one at bat you're talking about was when the bases were loaded in the 5th last night. He flew out to right center field. I thought it was a good swing. He just got under the ball. This is a sinker down and in. He's starting to be more compact. He just keeps going on this track, and he's going to be just fine.
So 1 out now. Kirk Neuenhuis getting the start in left field tonight.
Well, you want to stay away from the wrapping the bat. He likes to wrap that bat, but he's not. He's got a very small take back now, so he's shortened up a little bit in that regard. More compact would be a better word.
Does the fast bat? Does the wrap matter, Keith? As long as you can get the bat into the hitting zone on
it's
time.
All a timing issue. You can say it about a hitch. Willie Mays had a big hitch. So did Hank Aaron. So it's all, whenever how quickly you start it in your swing, and it doesn't get you out in front. And Aaron was a front foot hitter. Tony Oliva, one of the great hitters. I know I'm not being contemporary, but these were the great hitters of the 60s. Oliva was a front foot hitter. Clemente was a front foot hitter.
3-0 to Neuenhuis, and he takes a strike.
So you can't clone hitters. Everybody has their distinct styles that work.
Sometimes, though, guys wrap the bat because they think it generates more power. That's where it starts from at a young age.
And does it?
You think it does. It's kind of like, when the guys play golf, they'll wrap the club all the way down to the ground because they think they can hit it farther. It's not true. It's just wrapping the bat around kind of your head, so the top of the bat is facing the pitcher. You don't want that in a perfect world.
3-2 coming, and Neuenhuis groundsman right at Solano, and there are 2 out.
All right, so I'm going to demonstrate, folks, and you have to just imagine this Tootsie Pop as a baseball bat. When you wrap, you don't want to get the barrel of the bat over this too far over your head. Then it's got to come all the way around. Now, Julio Franco did it, and it worked for him. So I'm not sitting here saying that, that's one thing you cannot do. It worked for Julio Franco.
Gary Sheffield.
Gary Sheffield did it too. But for most hitters, if you get too wrapped, for me it was that way. It was one thing I always had to watch out for.
Lagares takes one the other way, and that'll beat Stanton and go back to the wall. And Juan Lagares pulls into second base with a 2-out double. 14th double of the year for Lagares, whose bat has started to come around.
Come around because he's hitting the ball to right field again.
Yes, and that's what Juan does very well the other way, and when he goes bad, he tries to go that way, and that's good because that's a good way to come out. I like the fact the other night he got a double in left center field. He's got pop, and he will learn to pull as he gets more experience.
So now it's Ruben Tejada, 2-out runner at second, pitcher on deck. We'll see how aggressive Alvarez is in this spot.
Remember, this happened in last night's game with Aaron Harang, and he pitched so carefully to the 7th place hitter because Colon was up 8th.
Good curveball from Alvarez.
Well, that's when you hit the ball up at the plate. That's what that means right there. I mean, that exemplifies it right there perfectly.
Guessing Alvarez is going to go right after Tejada.
Ruben lines one into center field for a base hit. Here comes Lagares around third. Here's Ozuna's throw. It's cut off. 1-0 New York. Well, he went after Tejada, and Tejada made him pay.
The same pitch that Tejada won the game, the first game in the series, when he got the base hit up the middle to win the game against the Braves. Another slider. That's a hanger.
He's thrown 2 bad sliders, the one to right for a base hit, and then this one to Tejada.
Ozuna, who made the 2 great throws from left field to beat the Mets in a game in Miami, didn't have a chance against Lagares with 2 out.
With his speed, and also Lagares is a good base runner.
So 20 RBIs now for Tejada, and for Henderson Alvarez, the first time he's given up a run in the 2nd inning this year. 2nd inning usually facing the bottom of the order, usually a low-scoring inning, and Alvarez had not given one up. He had also gone 19 1/3 consecutive scoreless innings against the Mets before that run. Wheeler drives one out to left center. Yelich going back. It's over his head and one hop to the wall. Tejada turning third, racing for the plate. Relay by Echeverria, not in time. Zach Wheeler with a run-scoring double, and it's 2-0 New York.
These Met pitchers, the most improved hitters in the history of the game.
They got off to a slow start this year. They sure did, Ron.
Second career extra base hit for Zach Wheeler.
Didn't sink hardly at all, up from mid-thigh. Nicely done. Two outs. You're running on the get-go. We've been running a little, showing some speed there. Nicely done.
So 3 straight hits from the 7, 8, and 9 batters produced 2 runs.
Hits it right where it's pitched. The sinker that didn't sink stays around mid-thigh, right up at the plate. Wheeler's got a chance up there. He's got a clue.
Started the night 1 for 27 this year. Now he has his second hit. Granderson hits it out to right center. Ozuna at the track to the wall to make the catch. That ball kept carrying, and Ozuna with his back against the fence reeled it in. So the Mets swinging the bats well against their nemesis Henderson Alvarez. Lagares, Tejada, and Wheeler combined for 2 runs, and Granderson almost made it more. Zach Wheeler. The Mets today announced the signing of their #1 draft pick this year, outfielder Michael Conforto of Oregon State. He is here at the ballpark, and he's standing by with our Steve Gelb. Steve.
Thanks, Gary. Michael, quite a day for you today, signing officially with the Mets, but really getting to experience the major leagues at this level right here. You had your clothes in the locker, your jersey in the locker, got to take BP. How cool of a day was this for you at this point?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, I mean, I'd like to thank the Mets for bringing me out here. I mean, really is a dream come true for me, and seeing my name on that locker and seeing all the, my jersey and all the stuff in the locker, it kind of gives me a little piece, a little something that I can work towards, and it truly is a dream come true for me. Something that I've thought about for a very long time, and so now I'm just trying to enjoy the moment and soak it all in.
You got to interact with a lot of the guys. Anybody say anything in particular to you that you're going to take through?
Yeah, well, in particular, David Wright was, he was he said hello to me, and he also just said if I needed anything, don't hesitate to call him or reach out to him, which was great. And obviously a guy that has been an all-star, sort of the face of the Mets, someone that I look up to. It's very cool that he would reach out to me like that, and so I admire him for that, and I still look up to him, and so it's just a very, very cool thing for me.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Now, the Mets took you at number 10 because you got a heck of a bat. How would you describe yourself as a hitter to these Mets fans?
As a hitter, I am. I like to think that I'm a very aggressive hitter, but I like to be aggressive in a very smart way. That means having a good plate discipline, knowing the strike zone, knowing counts, knowing tendencies of pitchers. I like to play my game that way, while also not being afraid to let loose sometimes, and really let that swing go. Obviously everyone likes a home run, and I do as well. But I'll take a walk when I need to, and I'll take what the pitcher gives to me, hit the ball where it's located, and that's kind of, I guess, me as a hitter, and what I strive to be, and what I think I should be doing.
You grew up in Seattle, Washington. This is your first trip to New York City. What do you think of your new home?
It's unbelievable. You hear a lot about it, when you're over on the West Coast, and people come back and they say, you got to go. And I got to experience it. I got to see a little bit of the city yesterday. Just barely scratched the surface. I got to see Empire State Building, go up to the 86th floor. I saw the Freedom Tower. That sight really took my breath away, and the people, the food, unbelievable. Just overall an incredible experience, and I'm so happy I'm here.
Jared Saltalamacchia down swinging. There's one away for the Marlins here. You start in Brooklyn. And I know that you're joining the team right off the bat, not going back to the West Coast. You're here now, right?
I'm sorry. I was watching it.
That's all right. No, that's good. Mets fans are going to want you to watch the game. You start off in Brooklyn,
right,
and you start right off the bat, not going back out to the West Coast, right? You're picking up when? Tomorrow, is it?
Tomorrow, yeah. I'm actually going to go meet up with the team in Connecticut. The Brooklyn Cyclones out. They're away right now in Connecticut. So I'll be with them for their road series. We get back on Tuesday for a off day, and then I will be actually flying back to LA for the Golden Spikes award. And yeah, so I'll be in LA for a few days, and I'll come back and I'll be playing with the Cyclones once again.
Michael, congratulations, and I know Mets fans looking forward to watching you progress here.
Absolutely, thank you.
All right, Gary, back to you.
All right, thanks, Steve, and thanks, Michael, and good luck. Start of his professional career as a Danny Echeverria, the first base runner for the Marlins.
Just threw it right down that line. It was low and in, and fought it off to right field. And of course, Echeverria has such great speed. Easily beat that. Well, Michael Conforto, what a well-spoken young man. Get up here quick. We're probably trying to put a show on here at SNY.
A couple of thoughts on Michael Conforto. One, facially and body type wise, reminds me very much of Rico Brogna.
I was going to say the same thing, yeah.
Also grew up in the Seattle area. That's one stroked foul by Henderson Alvarez, a very good hitting pitcher. Huge Ken Griffey Jr. fan growing up in Seattle.
Of course. Oh, I'm sure.
As a left-hand hitter. And the other thing is, I got to talk briefly to his agent Scott Boras after he was introduced today, and Keith, Scott told me to tell you that Michael Conforto has Keith Hernandez-like barrel control with his bat, and he said, I don't say that very often.
There's Scott right there to the right. Scott's a good friend. My last agent that I had, Scott was a heck of a player in the Cardinals organization. He was my brother's roommate, I believe, in either 73 or 74 in St. Pete in the Florida State League. Scott hurt his knees, but he was quite a prospect, and he's a super agent, that's for sure. And he did tell me that too. And I had a long chat with Mr. Conforto, his father, who was a linebacker at Penn State.
Right.
Wow.
Little chopper for Wheeler, and he'll have to ignore the runner going to third because Wright had vacated, and he's just able to get Alvarez at first. Wheeler's first thought was third, which was a good thought, except that David Wright had gone toward the ball.
Well, there's nothing David could do. You can't assume the pitcher's going to make that play. A nice athletic play by Wheeler. Alvarez can run.
You almost think the way he hit that bag so hard he could have hurt himself. Kind of stutter stepped at the end right there instead of keeping his stride.
What'll usually happen there is that your third baseman will yell to you, 1-1-1-1, so you know where to throw the ball.
So 2 out. Echeverria now at third. Christian Yelich the batter.
Well, Michael's going to Brooklyn, right? Michael Conforto. Well, I got one word for him, Gargiulio.
And it's funny you say that because Michael said, hey, we're Italian. We've already had 2 meals in this town that we don't usually get anywhere except from home cooking. Right?
Right.
He's in the best place in the world outside of Italy to find Italian food.
Are you kidding me? And you know what? When you play every day, you need that starch, those carbs to fuel the body. Now, in my case, I can't go light on the pasta. So put the pounds on me.
By the way, it's about a 4 or 5 block walk from the ballpark of Koniawa to Gargiulio's, so that'll be just perfect for lunch. Nice stop by d'Arnaud to keep the runner at third. To Yelich. Just missed inside.
Nice try. He's got an exceptional fastball. I feel like a broken record, but it's exceptional.
It's the right call by d'Arnaud. Yelich is Achilles heel. He's a low ball hitter. Cannot hit the ball up.
See if they try that again. Try the breaking ball down, 2-2.
Wheeler's always, after every pitch run, he's got that little funky shoulder, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, like he's in pain, but he's not.
He's just kind of
just a tick.
Yeah, getting the kink out, it seems like. I remember with a chest protector before they had that pad on the throwing shoulder.
3-2.
Nice eye.
Low and in. Full count.
That was an ingenious innovation in chest protectors, getting that shoulder flap on the throwing side, because catcher gets hit in the shoulder and then it's going to affect his throwing. And it's on a hinge, so it doesn't, you can see how it moves, it doesn't affect the catcher's throwing motion. And I thought it's just an ingenious idea. It's been around for a long time.
Yelich bounces one. Murphy's got the hop. And Wheeler able to work around Echeverria's double in the third. Marlins get their first base runner. Mets still with a 2-0 lead.
You were in a Cardinal uniform, and Jackson wears baseball and football, and you did football.
Yes, I played the Gipper. But that Bo down there, that's a pretty interesting hobby he has for his vacation. When baseball ends, he winds up playing football. I don't know if there's ever been anyone doing it.
Hey. He's remarkable, and look at that one. Bo Jackson says hello.
1989 All-Star Game, Infinity bringing us this date in baseball history. Bo Jackson makes Rick Russell feel awfully bad.
Wow.
Daniel Murphy takes a strike. He was, I mean, he didn't have a very long baseball career. He didn't really have that long a professional football career, but he was the phenomenal athlete of the last quarter of the 20th century.
He was Jim Thorpe. That's what he was. He could do anything. He was the strongest guy on the field. He was the fastest guy on the field. He had the best arm on the field. He hit for the most power. And that's without playing a lot of baseball, coming to baseball late, and just kind of learning. He was learning as he was playing, and that's how good he was.
It was when I was in Cleveland, I got a chance to chat with him. Great guy, very down to earth. And that was always strikingly funny to me. Was if you remember when he was at Auburn, he had the reputation of being soft. And he went to the NFL. He tore up people.
Who did he run over? Brian Bosworth.
Bosworth, that outside run, that sweep in Seattle.
Just remember going down the left sideline on Monday Night Football and disappearing in the tunnel. He was unbelievable. 0-2 to Murphy, and he fouls one away.
I was stuck in in 1991 for the Oakland A's, a 0-0 game in the bottom of the 8th, and Bo came up, and I believe I had struck him out a couple of times in the game, and he hit a home run to win the game 1-0, and it was so far that I had to look on the board to see how far it was. 476 was the number.
Alvarez a good fielder, and Murphy concedes one away. Talk about hurting your feelings.
Well, it didn't really hurt my feelings because I looked at it. I usually wouldn't look at it, but it was just such a tremendous high shot to center field. That's what he could do, Bo. Alvarez can do it all. We saw him running, trying to beat out the play at first. He's a good hitter, can field his position.
Well, the Mets hit some balls hard against him in the second inning after 2 out and nobody on. Lagares, Tejada, Wheeler, Granderson all smacked it. That's got 2 runs out of it. David Wright had the first Met hit, a single in the left in the opening inning.
You know, when we were talking, Steve was talking before to the #1 draft pick, Conforto. It reminds me of a story. Keith, you won't remember this because after BP, you would take BP, we'd go in the clubhouse. But we had drafted Kevin Elster, #1. He was an Orange County kid. We were in San Diego, and they suited him up in the outfit. He went out in the cage. He was ready to hit with the rest of the players, and they said, "Hey, you'll hit last. You can take as many swings as you want." And as soon as he got in the cage, the whole team walked off the field.
You guys.
We were just awful. But you know what? Ellie was up for it. He laughed harder than anyone else.
We were not a good bunch for him to be around early in his career. I don't think he needed much prodding, but.
Another one in the hole. So David Wright has found his spot against Henderson Alvarez, and he's 2 for 2.
What's amazing about the game, Keith? You could hit 2 balls and have 2 5-3s or 2 6-3s, and you could also have 2 singles.
Yep. Hit them where they ain't.
It's worked since We Will the Killer.
Yes. Right now, Henderson Alvarez hasn't got a good slider. He's got to be careful with his slider, and he hasn't really got his good sink. He's inconsistent with his sink. That's why we're seeing 5 hits up on the board right now.
Duda took a call third strike his first time. Alvarez got in on him. throw that changeup inside against lefties by design?
No, not by design. That's just holding on to it too long.
That's a mistake, Gare. You get hurt in middle in on changeups.
Well, he's got the sinker, and he gets ground ball double plays better than any pitcher in the National League. And what makes that even more impressive is he does not give up many walks, so he doesn't have all that many double play opportunities behind him.
Well, he's given up more hits than innings pitched. Coming into the game, 121 hits in 115 innings, but as Gary said, 22 walks.
And the most impressive number, I think, only 5 home runs in 115 innings.
He pitches in a nice ballpark, but still, I don't care. 5 it's outstanding. But hitters hitting 274 against him and pretty equal, lefty righty.
Last time Duda was up 2-1, sinker away. Keith, let's see what he gets here.
Well, a little different ballpark in Toronto, but he's also a little more refined pitcher. He's only 24 years old. When he was pitching in Toronto, he was just a baby.
Duda cracks it to deep right field. Forget it. Stanton doesn't even move into the Pepsi porch. A 2-run bomb. The Big Lebowski. And it's 4-0 New York.
Well, you see that right there was supposed to be a sinker away and a mistake. And Lucas makes him pay. Calls up. Literally no sink over the middle. And he really takes a grip. Watch, wants it away. Right down Broadway. No sink whatsoever.
What do you ask your hitters? You ask them to learn from at-bat to at-bat. First time up, 2-1 fastball he takes. Second time up, he does not.
Number 14 for Duda. That ties him with Granderson for the club lead. And makes him the first Met ever to homer against Henderson Alvarez.
Big leg kick. Right in the wheelhouse. And that pitcher makes a mistake like that to Duda. In that spot, that's where it should happen. That's what the result should be. Look at that. He's coming on. Lucas is going to be okay.
Here's how stingy Alvarez is with home runs. Before his last start, he'd gone 68 1/3 innings without giving up a home run until Colton Wong took him deep for St. Louis. Now he's given up home runs at back-to-back starts.
Colton Wong, of all people, not a home run hitter.
Darno hits another line drive. That's 2 of them that resulted in outs.
He's not fooling anybody.
I laugh because there was a time when Keith and I played, and if he got a couple 0 for 2 on 2 line drives, he would come back to the dugout, and that is the phrase he would utter, but at a very loud volume.
I was very bad at yelling at pitchers. I wish I could take back, but I was very fiery here.
It's hard to believe. Here's Neuenhuis. Well, on this homestand, the Mets have certainly had some terrific games against ace pitchers. Yu Darvish, Julio Teheran, now Henderson Alvarez, and they've taken them all to the woodshed. 1-1 to Neuenhuis, and that's got to be an encouraging sign. Not only that the Mets hitting has perked up, but against quality pitching.
And you know what? I don't care if they're hitting line. They could be hitting line drives at people, like Darno for that instance. That to me, if there was no results and they're taking this kind of approach and swinging the bat like this, and things weren't falling in for them, I'd say they're on their way still. I just see so much improvement.
Well, Darno's certainly a huge piece. Going down to Las Vegas, figuring it out quickly and bringing it back with him. Neuenhuis rolls one for Solano. Alvarez has to cover and does a nice dance at first base for the 4-1 putout. But Lucas Duda cracks one a long way. Up into the Pepsi porch. Number 14 for Duda. 4-0 New York after 3. Donovan Solano will lead off for Miami in the 4th. Solano struck out his first time up. Wheeler's allowed just 1 hit through the first 3 innings. Meanwhile, the Mets have pounded on Henderson Alvarez for 4 runs and 6 hits. Solano, Stanton, and McGee for Miami in the 4th. Broken bat foul.
Sounds like it. Get a new one.
Well, I think it's fair to say that starting pitching has been the most consistent aspect of this team all year, but what's happened over the last week has been pretty extraordinary. The Mets have now gotten 4 straight starts of 7 innings or more. Their starters ERA the last time through the rotation is 1.27, and there's been a lot of attention paid to the offense, but the starting pitching has kicked it up into an even higher gear.
Well, I think the fact that the offense has been getting so much attention is because it was just so bad for the early part of the year. It's just, and that's why it's coming around. The pitching, I think, all in all, for the Mets have held them, have been the reason why they're where they're at. Not in a worse place.
Solano loops one, and that's into center field for a leadoff hit. Second hit against Wheeler. And that'll get Giancarlo Stanton to the plate with a man on.
Breaking ball down and away. Did he get away enough? That's not a bad pitch.
Remember, he struck out on that curveball his last time up, and this time made an adjustment.
Can't throw the soft roller in there. Throw the hard one.
So now Stanton, who popped up to Murphy his first time up.
Yeah, he's a better low ball hitter anyways. That pitch up in the strike zone is not usually one he hits out.
just was just got beat that pitch.
I asked Giancarlo, I saw him in spring training. I asked him, when did you know that, you had some power hitting the baseball? Always.
Oh. It's like don't ask a stupid question.
I know, that was so stupid.
Like when he was 6?
No, that he said that he used to play in a field that wasn't for, little league type ages.
Oh, this one's hit well to left center, but Neuenhuis is over. And Solano back to first, one away.
And it was for the older kids, and he still would hit it out over the fence.
Got this breaking ball away just enough off the end of the bat, I believe. A little bit too quick. He's mad at himself because he didn't wait.
Well, he's now 0 for his last 14, so that's a cumulative look of frustration. So 1 out and 1 on. Now Casey McGee, who swung at the first pitch he saw and grounded out to third base his first time up. McGee has come back from Japan this year and had himself a remarkable year at age 31. 4th in the National League in batting, 8th in RBIs, 8th in on-base percentage. Somehow not an all-star. And the Marlins people are a little unhappy with Mike Matheny for taking his third baseman, Matt Carpenter, rather than taking McGee.
And Carpenter had a great year last year. He's not having a great year. I mean, he's having a solid year.
But he's not having McGee's year.
No.
So when the Marlins were in St. Louis last week, which is when the All-Star teams were announced, McGee had a great series. Big part of them winning 2 out of 3 against the Cardinals.
Well, it's a hard place for a manager because you know who Matheny has to have all the second half? Matt Carpenter. And it's incentive. You want him to feel good about himself. And if it's a toss-up, you're going with your guy all the time.
There's the good curveball for a strike. 1-2. Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. 3-way tie atop the National League hit board going into the night. Hunter Pence with McGee and Murphy. Wheeler ahead, 1-2 on McGee. Line down the left field line. That's a fair ball. Solano heading to third. Tough play in the corner for Neuenhuis. Solano being waved home. The relay throw by Tejada. He may get him. He's out. Perfect relay throw by Tejada, and Solano was dead meat.
It was an unbelievable play by Kirk Neuenhuis. He made the entire play.
Well, this is all your fundies. Nice play going down the knee, picking it up. Not an easy play. Perfect throw to Tejada, perfect throw to the plate. That's what you work on in spring. Dead to rights, and boy, down 4 runs. You want to play it a little more conservative.
Now, Darnell blocked the plate with the ball, which you're allowed to do, and it was certainly within Solano's rights at that point to run him over if he wanted to, but he chose to go in hand first and never got there.
That's Brett Butler, the third base coach for the Marlins, and no one got the bat, so that means there's no on-deck circle.
So he wasn't blocking the plate before he had the ball, but
Right.
once he got it, he's perfectly within his rights to smother the plate, which is what he did.
That bat has no business being anywhere near that plate.
7-6-2 on the put out at the plate. It's a double for McGee. He takes third on the throw. And now Garrett Jones, the batter, with 2 out.
This is so hard. Not only to slide in and to trap it at the same time, get up and throw a bullet to Tejada. That made the whole play. That's why Butler looks foolish now, the third base coach. He probably said no way when Solano was coming around third base.
Yeah, well, at the point he was making the decision, he made the right decision. Just Neuenhuis made a great play. Jones trying to bunt for a hit against the shift. Wheeler has to make the do-or-die play. Got him! That saves a run. Side retire. We'll see whether Mike Redmond decides to challenge. He's out of the dugout on the close play at first base. Wheeler with a terrific defensive play to help himself after he got the great relay from Nieuwenhuis and Tejada to save a run earlier.
Boy, that's close.
Close. Nice play by Wheeler.
Avoids Darno.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I don't think
that would be hard to overturn.
Hard to overturn is right.
Very, very close. Certainly possible that Jones beat it, but is it enough evidence to overturn the call on the field, which was out?
A heck of a play by Wheeler.
This is going to be a tough call. Yes, they're going for it.
They're saying tie base.
Well, that's Rob Leary, the bench coach, hearing from the Marlins video coordinator.
No, just the opposite.
And apparently the thumbs up for them means it's a good call and we're not going to challenge. Okay. Which is the opposite of what most teams do. So they've got their own secret set of signals. So the Mets squirm out of that inning. A single and a double and a great play by Wheeler on the piggyback of the great play by Nieuwenhuis in the left field corner. And somehow the Marlins do not score in the fourth. Still 4-0 New York. Juan Lagares leading off the home fourth inning against Henderson Alvarez, and he pops one up. Saltalamacchia is shedding the mask. One away. There's one more look at the play at first base, which the Marlins decided not to challenge.
I think he was out.
Is there any part of you that says, though, maybe I take a shot here, I might not get another shot, and it could be a run? You know?
I don't think they would have overturned that. And Lucas has got to be careful with his foot. He didn't get stepped on.
Here's Ruben Tejada, who drove in the first Met run with a single to center in the second. Hits this one out to center field, and Marcelo Zuna waiting for it. So 3 pitches, 2 outs for Alvarez in the fourth. And now Zach Wheeler, who drove in a run with a long double to left center and just saved a run with a great defensive play, will get the at bat here.
Zach featuring that kind of Dutch County beard, isn't he?
Lancaster.
The hit for Zach was just his second of the year. The double was just the second extra base hit of his career. This time he goes down on the changeup. And that's the third strikeout for Alvarez. Much easier inning for him. Mets up 4-0 after 4. Jets Nation, as training camp nears, the crew breaks down the top 5 questions facing the offense and defense for the 2014 season. We'll cover everything with special teams. Jets Nation, Sunday at 7, only on SNY.
That's a whole nother show, Care. Oh.
Star Wars night. Stormtroopers.
Never seen Star Wars, by the way.
How's that even possible?
Not any of them.
Really?
Yeah, none of them.
Well, I don't even know what to say to that. SNY Super Slow Motion is brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. Visit them on the web at searchmercedes.com. Now, that having been said, I've only seen one of them.
Okay.
The original movie.
Okay.
I haven't seen the other 5.
I quit after the clones. I didn't like the clones. I bagged it after that.
Which one was that?
I don't know.
It's Marcell Ozuna to start the 5th inning. And Wheeler gets the curveball in for a strike.
What was the one where Darth Vader got axed when he died?
I didn't make it
the
that
third
far.
one?
I'm telling you, I only saw the first
It
one.
was the third one, I believe. Was it a trilogy?
Empire Strikes Back, that one?
That's when I quit watching. And I tried to watch the clones, and I said,
Nice lightsaber.
Folks are very serious about it, aren't they?
Yeah.
It was terrific.
Sometimes scarily so.
Everybody forgets, and we won't belabor here. I will get back to the game, folks. Don't worry. But that speed of that movie was revolutionary.
Yeah,
that was a breakthrough. So it was like when you watched that first one, you went, "Oh my gosh!"
Off the foot of Ozuna. Well, here's some potentially bad news for the first place Washington Nationals. Jordan Zimmerman just walked off the mound in Philadelphia shaking his pitching hand. Motioned to the dugout, said, "I'm coming out," in the middle of an inning. That's not a good sign. Of course, that's a guy who's already been through Tommy John surgery once. City probables for the remainder of the series. Dice game out to Zaka tomorrow against the New York native Tom Kohler. Jacob deGrom off a terrific start his last time out against the lefty Brad Hand Sunday. And then it's the All-Star break.
Tommy Kohler's pitched some of his better games against, I wouldn't say his hometown team, but his New York team.
He had a rough outing here, I believe, in April. And he's pitched good down in Miami against the Mets.
Seventh pitch of the at bat to Ozuna, and he gets him with a high hard one. Strikeout number 3 for Wheeler.
That's the pitch when you throw hard and you got the high riding fastball that you need to perfect. Seaver had it. It's tough to lay off. It's a big out pitch, Ronnie, when you throw hard.
Well, how it works is that the hitter is expecting a fastball. You give him the fastball, but it's out of the zone.
Right, and I say when you get it upstairs, when you get it upstairs, Gary, there's a little more velocity on it. You put in something extra on it, and it has a little lift to it.
Saltalamacchia takes the slider inside. Saltalamacchia missed time with a concussion, and since coming back, he hasn't hit a lick. It's been about 2.5 weeks now.
He's a guy you can just stay upstairs on, and he likes to golf that low ball.
Danny Echeverria waiting on deck. So we've got an early candidate for promotion of the year in the Mets organization. The St. Lucie Mets and our good friend Paul Tagliari, who runs the club down there, are running a promotion where the fans in South Florida can bring their now obsolete LeBron James Miami Heat jerseys to the ballpark in St. Lucie and trade it for a season ticket.
Oh, that's great.
How about that?
That's a good move.
I bet they get a bunch. Nice job, guys. 3-1.
They do a good job down there. We get to see them all month, those hardworking folks, in March.
Is ball 4 and Saltalamacchia is on. First walk for Wheeler. Is LeBron going back to Cleveland like returning to an ex-spouse? Is that how that works?
Yeah, right. An abusive spouse.
Right.
Right. One, he lives in Akron, so he's got his home there. Second, I think he is so good. I think he wants the challenge of going someplace else and winning a championship there. I think that's kind of the way he's driven.
Called his 4 years in Miami like a college education. I went to college. I don't remember getting paychecks like that. It's Echeverria. He takes ball 1.
I don't believe they have student loans that big.
I mean, it's a huge day in Cleveland. I mean,
yes.
One of the biggest days ever.
For a city that has not won a professional sports championship since the '63 Browns. Yeah, of course it's big. There's a call, strike 1-1.
I think it's a nice. I'm impressed by LeBron going back there. Whether he lives in Akron, okay, fine, but he left, he came back. He's going to be dearly. He's going to be beloved there.
Be bigger than he was the first time.
Absolutely.
Frank Ryan, the quarterback of those teams.
Yes.
Boy, they sure hated him when he left, though.
They did.
Ground ball past Duda, and Echeverria has another opposite field hit. He went over the bag the first time to Duda's left. This time he went to Duda's right, and he's got himself a single.
Well, it's interesting. Maybe Echeverria is giving his teammates a little more of a blueprint on how to attack Zach Wheeler.
Saltalamacchia is showing some hops, getting out of the way of that ball. So 2 on, and now Alvarez the batter. So it's a 4-0 game, and most pitchers in this spot would be asked to bunt, but Alvarez handles the bat extremely well.
I would have him bunt.
Yeah, he's got to bunt to try to get a single to get him back in the game. It was an interesting pitch that Wheeler chose to didn't choose to walk, but Saltalamacchia with 2 strikes, he threw a breaking pitch with a 4-0 game. So maybe he has put himself in harm's way.
Alvarez showing bunt. He had a comebacker to Wheeler his first time up. Alvarez has 9 hits and 7 sacrifices this year.
Ooh.
And that one followed him.
He's saying he got hit. Let's see.
Now they want to see if he offered at it, and the first base umpire says he did. That's Alfonso Marquez. So that's a strike.
So this is a double embarrassment here. He's trying to get out of the way. What do you think, Ronnie? Is that?
Well, he let the bat go. I mean,
that's not attempting the bunt, is it?
I don't know what it is.
Well, you know what? You have to take the bat back. You just can't leave it out there.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
I've not. It looked beautiful on replay.
Well, super slow-mo. Pushes down one foul, and it's 0-2.
Let's see, his fingers are wrapped around the bat, too. Nope. Now he drops it.
It's like Kung Fu.
It's a little bit like George Lucas, right?
I'd like to see where that's covered in the rules, by the way.
Yeah.
Dropping the bat as an attempt to bunt. I guess if he'd made contact and had gone fair, it would have been a legitimate attempt. Now Wheeler's ahead of him 0-2. We'll see if he's still bunting. Saltalamacchia at second, not fast at all. Echeverria at first. And he takes just off the plate. 1-2. Christian Yelich waiting on deck. Mentioned the Nats trailing in Philly 4-0. The Braves came from a night game here last night, played a day game in Chicago today, and lost in walk-off fashion in the bottom of the ninth. That's bunted foul for strike 3.
Can't help yourself doing that.
So 2 out. By the way, that should not be allowed. You should not have to play a night game and then travel to a different time zone and play a day game the next day. That's just wrong.
Well, I was talking about with you guys today. I said that'll be one thing that Tony Clark, the new head of the Players Association, has to address. Playing a night game and going to Chicago and play a day game. You know, what are we trying to do here? We're trying to produce the best entertainment for the fans. How can you have the best entertainment when the guys are flying all night, getting in at 4 o'clock in the morning? Does not make any sense.
By the way, guys, nice trophy you earned. It's lovely. This is the Battle of the Broadcasters trophy, if you didn't see it last night.
Yeah, for all you hundreds of thousands that were watching.
I heard it was an extremely popular show.
But by the way, in this day and age, did the radio booth get a trophy too? Because everybody
gets a trophy.
Yeah.
I did not see Howie and Josh come up with the second place trophy, and they're pointing back to Chris Majkowski, and what they're saying is if he had been on their team, they would have won.
Oh.
And you know what? They're probably right.
Let's do a split screen. I'm going to be like Carol Merrill here and hold the trophy.
So you got the trophy winners on one side of the split screen and the losers on the other side?
Yes,
is that what you're saying?
Here you go, Howie.
It's not yours.
Folks, if you want to view the trophy, it'll be displayed at the SNY Studios, the office in the lobby. There's a trophy case there with all the Emmys. That'll be proudly displayed.
Here you go. Howie. Howie. Is that what you want?
Very nice. Howie, by the way, if you got to watch, you know that Howie was at his curmudgeonly best.
He was good.
During that show.
Very funny.
Just great. 2-1 to Yelich. And he runs that one in on him. 2-2.
I'm sorry. You got a guy like Wheeler who throws as hard as he does. I'm going to have to be in a little bit more of a crouch. I'm not going to be relaxed hitting off him. I am going to be more crouched, ready to pounce.
2 out, 2 on, 2-2 to Yelich. And a grounder foul.
He's throwing all these sliders down now. Yelich has not been able to put him in play. He is open for that high fastball. Let's see if Darno calls it. And he's always up there in the top 5 in fastball velocity.
And it's been faster tonight. He's been 95 to 98 most of the night.
Gary Richards didn't make the All-Star team either.
That's crazy.
So Zach dropped to 5th place. A couple guys picked it up there to get ahead of him, and I'll take 94.7 on an average any day of the week.
Full count to Yelich.
94.7, pitching, school, whatever. You take that.
It'd be nice for Zach to get to 5-8 and the Mets to get a win, of course, number one. But 1 point, Zach was really struggling.
Well, Wheeler's gone to a full count on Yelich, all 3 at bats. Got him to ground out the first 2 times. Now Saltalamacchia and Echeverria will be running. And Yelich grounds another one. Foul.
All of Yelich's home runs off right-handers. That's 7 on the year for him. Oh, let's talk it over.
That's interesting. Catchers in the day used to really try to hide their signs deep into their body to make sure that no one on base could see them. It's changed a little bit now. Guys are not afraid to give the signs kind of in open sight to anyone. You know, they're giving a multitude of signs now with a guy in second.
Three-two coming. Line the other way. A base hit for Yelich. That'll get Saltalamacchia in. Echeverria trying for third. And he'll arrive safely. An opposite field single for Christian Yelich gets the Marlins on the board. It's now 4-1 New York.
Good at bat by Yelich. Good hustle by Echeverria, showing the speed on the backside. This is all you can do. It's a knee-high outside corner fastball. You just keep it going. You're a leadoff hitter. That's beautiful. And that's driving it. That's not slapping it out there.
You know, I think I was mentioning before, and I kind of glazed over it. Saltalamacchia scored that run. Saltalamacchia was at 2 and change, has struggled, was up, and Zach walked him on a slider. Now, the reason I mention that at all is that in a 4-0 game, when you throw 95 plus, there's no reason to throw a guy hitting 2 and change a slider. Go right after him. If he gets a hit, he gets a hit. Chances are he won't. Might not have been in this predicament.
Now he faces Donovan Solano with first and third and 2 out. Solano singled to center his last time up, then was thrown out at the plate on that terrific relay with Nieuwenhuis and Tejada.
In this lineup, you have to get this out.
Because the next man up is the guy who can clear him. That's a good fastball for a strike to Solano. Stanton looming. High pitch count for Wheeler, 85 with 2 out of the 5th. That's about where he's been most of the year. Lined, short hop by Murphy, recovers,
nice
side retired. Well, Murphy played patty cake with it, stayed with it, and Wheeler able to limit the damage to 1 run, 4-1 halfway through. From Cy Young winner to retired with regret. Get an inside look at the career of Frank Viola, plus what he had to do to overcome a condition that nearly took his life. On Mets Insider, presented by WB Mason, Sunday at 4:30, only on SNY. Top of the batting order, third time through against Henderson Alvarez. Curtis Granderson 0 for 2, came very close to a 2-run homer his last time up. Marcell Ozuna had to put his back against the center field fence to reel in his fly ball. Granderson still swinging the bat pretty well, despite the fact that he's just 1 for his last 14.
The thing is, the difference now, Gary, is that he's gotten over coming over the jitters. He's going through a little 1 for 14, but he's still swinging the bat. He's through with all the tension of being with a new ball club, a big contract. He'll be fine.
Pound for pound, Granderson have the most power.
He's bigger than you think, though, you know?
Yeah.
He's taller than me.
He's taller, but he's so thin.
How about Brian Dozier?
I saw Dozier the other day. He's a lot thicker than you think.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, he's not quite Dan Uggla, but he's a lot thicker than you think.
Full count to Curtis with Murphy and Wright to follow.
Yep.
Fifth inning recap presented by Jeep. Zach Wheeler dominating the Marlins again. Allowed just 1 run over the first 5 innings. Easy hop for Garrett Jones to handle. And he takes care of Granderson, 1 away. So that's 6 in a row retired by Alvarez since the Duda home run. Figured he'd figure it out at some point.
Well, he's got the sink back. He's keeping the ball down.
There's Murphy, who struck out and hit a comebacker 0 for 2. Well, just to give you an idea how unusual this is, Alvarez had gone 9 straight starts allowing 2 runs or less, and he's given up 4 tonight.
He's also got he's using his changeup more the last couple of innings.
I mean, it's a changeup that doesn't look like one on the radar gun because it's only about a 4 or 5 mile an hour difference from his fastball.
Yeah, he grips it like that, circle change, but he powers it up there. There it is right there.
And Murphy takes it back up the middle for his first hit of the night. That gives Murphy a 7-game hitting streak and gives the Mets a 1-out base run.
Alvarez is shaking his head because he left that changeup up.
Nice inning by Murph. Murph always stays back.
Got to find a new way to say that. Left his change up. Left his change up high in the strike zone. Can't double up on up.
Allowed his changeup to sit high in the strike zone.
There you go. You're the wordsmith. We go to you.
Just go backwards. It's always the rule.
There's always another way.
Here's David Wright, 2 for 2. And David goes after the first pitch fastball. David twice has singled through the hole in the left. Scored a run in front of Duda's home run last time up. That's now with 7 hits against Alvarez. So this is David's 7th game back in the lineup after he missed 7 games with the shoulder problem. You know, David has been going to the All-Star game almost every year. Not going this year, and it might be the perfect year for him not to go, just to be able to rest that shoulder for
I agree.
2 days.
Get a good 4 days off. Take 2 days off. Don't do anything. Just stretch. Go for a walk.
First summer as a married man, you can go away on a little vacation, right?
You work out with the team. Take your BP on the workout day, and just recharge the battery.
What do they do? Usually hit before they get on the plane to go to San Diego?
Yeah, the Mets will leave Thursday late afternoon for San Diego. Play Friday night.
So they'll probably get in there around 5, 6 o'clock. I am leaving earlier. I will be there on Wednesday morning. I have my daughter in San Diego, so I'll be able to have dinner with her Wednesday night and have a full day with her Thursday.
So we'll find you by the pool, is what you're saying.
You will find me somewhere.
That's pretty open.
David drives one to deep left field, way back there and out of here. Second deck. David Wright showing off the big-time power. His 8th home run of the year, a monstrous 2-run shot. Long 2-run homers from Duda and Wright, and it's 6-1 New York. That should get him 2 turns through the car wash.
Teams having fun again, aren't they? And it all stems from offense. You can really have a blast at this game if you punish the baseball.
Well, that's as far as we've seen David Wright hit a ball in a long time.
Keith said he has not had a good slider, Alvarez.
Oh, fastball.
Fastball or change, you think?
Change or fastball? Not much. He hasn't got a whole lot of movement today on his pitch. Not a whole lot of sink. There's the towels, the terrible towels. So we'll take a look at David's top hand. We always like his top hand, brings it over and the lift. And that's a good sign. It's nice to see.
Well, against a pitcher who had given up only 5 home runs in 115 innings this year, the Mets have hit a couple of no-doubters.
Yeah. When you don't have the sinker, you're susceptible because you're used to throwing it over the plate, inside part of the plate to a right-hander, and you expect to get the sink.
And if it doesn't,
it stays right there.
Mets are really showing their home run muscles in July, aren't they?
Well, they didn't hit a home run yesterday. Duda hits this one out to right, playable for Stanton. And there are 2 out. That's with 2 home runs. Log on to sny.tv/Dwayne Reed to print out your coupon for great savings at Dwayne Reed and Walgreens. Yesterday, no home runs after the Mets had hit a home run in 9 straight home games. First time they had ever done that at Citi Field. And now after a day off from the long ball, 2 bombs tonight.
You know, we were showing his hands. Patrick gets up in the bullpen for the Marlins. But David Wright has something unique that you don't see with much hitters. His ability in that rotation around his core is as good as anyone in the game. Once he follows through that swing, that bat comes almost all the way around his number 5.
Garneau chops one down to McGee at third, and that retires the side. But David Wright puts one into orbit. David's 8th home run of the year, his 3rd hit of the night. Clears the lower deck and into the second. 6-1 Mets after 5. 1 lead after 5. Big crowd here on Free Shirt Friday, appreciating the long balls from Lucas Duda and David Wright, and the pitching of Zach Wheeler, who gets to face Giancarlo Stanton again with the bases empty. Stanton 0 for 2 tonight, now 0 for his last 14.
Nice off-speed curve.
Now, this is the second straight start where Wheeler has gotten substantial run support. Won an 8-4 decision from the Rangers on Sunday, and 6 runs on the board tonight.
It just, I mean, we've got a lot of game left. We're in the 6th here, and but it just looked like in the first inning, Ron, that with Wheeler's curveball that I just had a sense he was going to throw a good game.
He threw it early. Used it a lot in the first inning.
You know what? He's a type of guy, he throws so hard. If he goes out there early and has trouble with command of his breaking stuff, then I'm saying, okay, he may be in trouble here because he's got to come with the fastball. He's going to pitch behind the count or try to get ahead first pitch, fastball. But when he comes out of the chute, getting his breaking stuff over, then he's in line for a real fine outing.
Three and 2 to Stanton with McGee on deck. And he missed with it, ball 4. So a leadoff walk, second given up by Wheeler.
Sorry, Gary. It's interesting in that at bat. Remember in Miami, he struck out Giancarlo Stanton in a big situation with a changeup. Tried to go after him 3 times with the changeup. And his grip is a little different. Most changeup guys, they'll bury that ball into their palm because he has such big hands and he wants to throw that power changeup. He holds it on his fingertips and turns it over once he releases the baseball. Power changeup as opposed to a change of speed.
So if it's deeper in your hand, it'll reduce more of the velocity.
Like 5 more miles an hour.
Here's McGee, who doubled into the left field corner in the 4th inning. And the Mets made a substantial defensive play to get Solano at the plate.
See how he wraps that ball? We saw Harvey last year reach right at second. He wraps it, but you can see all that space in between the baseball and his palm. You hardly ever see that with any other pitcher.
So that's just a matter of the length of his fingers.
Length of his fingers and where he feels comfortable, too. That's the work in progress. Pitch.
Oh, skipping away. And Stanton down to second. A very wild curveball.
And this is the 50-foot variety. Nothing that Travis can do.
No.
Seventh wild pitch of the season for Wheeler.
What's considered a lot of wild pitches, Ronnie, for a full season for a
lot
pitcher?
of wild pitches?
Yeah.
Anywhere over 10. In the teens, somewhere like that. That's a huge amount.
Okay. I never paid attention to it when I played. That was your problem. That wasn't my worry.
Yeah, well, see, I knew you were all about yourself. Hey, you know, the other thing is you got to factor in. You know how many wild pitches I was saved by Gary Carter?
Oh.
He would call for the ball in the dirt, you would throw it, and he would smother it. So your catcher has a big part to play in that.
One and 2 to McGee. Chopped down to right. Stanton will retreat to the bag. And Wright throws out McGee, 1 away. So 1 out. Let's check in with the studio. Kareth Burke standing by for a game break brought to you by your local Tri-Honda dealers. So the Braves, who had tied that game in the top of the 9th on a hit by Christian Betancourt, lose it in the bottom of the 9th. So at the moment, the Braves are a half game back of the Nationals, but the Nationals also trailing tonight 4-0 to the Phillies in the 6th. And again, Jordan Zimmerman left that game because of injury.
Didn't the Phillies just sweep the Brewers?
They just did, 4 games. Brewers have lost 9 of 10 to reduce their lead to 2 games in the Central. Here's Garrett Jones with a runner at second and 1 out. It's been such a week of upheaval in that National League Central with the injury to Molina and the injury to Brandon Phillips and the Brewers struggling. And the team that may be able to take advantage is the Pirates, who all of a sudden, although they're in 4th place, are only 3.5 games out.
Chris Heisey is leading off and playing center field for the Reds because of a slight hamstring pull to Billy Hamilton. Joey Votto's hurt.
Yep. Votto's on the DL. They've got Jay Bruce playing first base again tonight. And the Pirates are leading the Reds 4-1 in the 6th. By the way, just for the record, Ronnie, you've had a low of 3 wild pitches in a season and a high of 16.
Well, 16 was probably the first year, but Ronnie threw the split finger too.
91. That was that year.
Yeah. That was the year that should not have been here year.
It was the transitional year.
That was get me out of Flushing. I'm no good. I want these people to remember what I used to be like.
Just needed the one more win.
I forget.
100 pitches now for Wheeler with 1 out of the 6th. 2-2 to Jones with Ozuna on deck. Hasn't been the big strikeout night for Wheeler. He's had 4. Earlier this season, he had a 10 strikeout game against the Marlins, 10 in 6 innings. Jones with a good rip, fouls it back.
Good rip, but it's belt high and up. He's a low ball hitter. Wheeler should be. There's Vic Black up for the Mets here.
This is probably going to be the last go round for Wheeler. It's the one downside for Zach. Even when he's not walking a lot of people, it seems like he's throwing a lot of pitches. The only game he didn't was that great shutout he pitched in Miami. Changeup misses. 3-2.
Upstairs fastball. Inside.
This is one of those cases. It's a 6-1 game. You throw hard, throw the ball as hard as you can up, like you said, Keith.
8th pitch of the at bat coming to Garrett Jones. Wastes that one away.
Slider.
Zach has thrown as many as 118 pitches in a game this season. He's done that twice. Stanton at second and 1 out. Long turn at bat for Jones. Got him with a changeup. Wheeler strikes out Garrett Jones, 2 away. 5 strikeouts for Zach.
Jones had the good cut at the fastball, missed it, and way ahead of that changeup. He used to give away this changeup, and at times he still does, but not as bad as it was in his first full year. The first year, sorry. You know, Wheeler's averaging 5 2/3 innings pitched a start, so this is usually where he goes to.
Trying to get through the inning to end his night. Marcell Ozuna, the batter, and he chops one out for Murphy. Nice big hop. Side retired. So Wheeler works around the leadoff walk. 6 solid innings for Zach, and a 6-1 lead for the Mets in the 6th. By Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side. Speak with Jonathan Ginsburg in Oceanside or Rich Grillo in Massapequa today. And by your Tri-State Cadillac dealer, visit CadillacTristate.com to search local offers and to find a local dealer near you. Sunday, it was the year the Islanders retired Dennis Potvin's number, and Ranger fans honored him with a new chant. This week, relive the best sports stories from 1992 on Oh Yeah! New episode Sunday at 10, only on SNY.
Getting good at that, Gary.
I think he's starting to ham it up a bit.
See? You think? Little? Zach Wheeler 106 pitches deep. He's got a 6-1 lead. Kirk Neuenhuis leads off against the new Marlins pitcher, Chris Hatcher.
Well, he was drafted as a catcher by the Marlins. In fact, hit 15 home runs in the minor leagues as a catcher, but they converted him, like Jason Mott and others, into a pitcher, and he's done awfully well after coming up on May 22nd. In fact, he went through a period of time where he had 13 outs, 12 of them recorded via strikeout.
Here's the thing about Hatcher. 24 innings this year, 3 walks, 26 strikeouts. I'll take that every time. Neuenhuis has been up twice, grounded out to second base both times. Lagares and Tejada to follow. Pitcher due up fourth for the Mets. We didn't see whether Wheeler got the handshakes going into the dugout, but at 106, you'd have to figure the odds are he's not coming back out.
Keith, this is probably a tough question to ask you.
I'm all ears.
Let's say you didn't make it as a hitter. Could you win a pitcher?
Cardinals signed me as a first baseman pitcher. But I tell you, Ronnie, when I pitched in high school, the day after I pitched, and I'd always go 7, and I'd always strike out double digits, my elbow on my ulnar side, I couldn't throw the ball 10 feet the next day. And then I would stretch it out the next day to 20. Those days you pitch once a week, right?
Yeah,
Played 2 games. And by the 4th day, I was able, my arm, it went away. Why?
Now, is that unusual for a pitcher, Ronnie?
I think at that age it is. I mean, at that age, you should be able to throw all day long. So that's you picked the right choice, my man.
Right, and that bone right there on the inside elbow.
Now, you hear all the time that pitchers always have discomfort.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now you didn't start pitching until you were older, so at what point did you start feeling discomfort?
Well, not till I was a professional.
Neuenhuis lifts it to deep left center. Back goes Ozuna. Near the wall. He can't get it. Off the fence. Neuenhuis around second. He'll go to third. A triple for Kirk Neuenhuis. Well, Ozuna caught one against the wall against Granderson earlier in the game, but this one he just missed at the wall.
Well, he gets the back pedal, Gary, and he realizes he's got it. He overran it a tad, and he gets into the back pedal. And when you start getting into the back pedal, you're on your heels, and that ball starts bouncing up and down. So misplayed. I really don't think Ozuna is a center fielder, to be honest with you. And look at the easy strides.
Third career triple for Neuenhuis, his first this year. And for the Mets, remarkably, only their 7th triple of the season, playing in this ballpark, which you figure would breed triples. Infield in for Lagares, who pulls one foul.
Neuenhuis runs as well as any big man in the league.
I can just see him in high school in Colorado running over people or running by people.
He did both. That's now with 9 hits on the night. Lagares had a double, scored a run in the second.
You're always situational hitting. You're always trying to add on. These are always important runs.
With the infield in, Lagares pulls one through the hole, a base hit. That gets Neuenhuis in. 7-1 New York. Second hit of the night for Lagares, his 21st RBI.
Let's remember one thing, you Met fans out there, and one very big positive. We've got 2 more games, but this game is not done. The Mets have 2 more games against the Marlins. Remember how difficult it was for this team to play at home, how they couldn't hit at home.
it's starting to get the worm is starting to turn here. I can see the confidence building. They're starting to play well at home, and to win, you have to. If you're going to contend and be in the upper echelon or the upper division, you've got to win at home.
Mets are 5-2 on this homestand. And we talked earlier about the fact that Terry Collins squeezed Neuenhuis and Lagares together into the lineup tonight, and they both produced.
I like them squeezed together in the lineup. I like them squeezed together in the outfield. The athleticism that they give Terry Collins and his crew is unprecedented on this team.
Tejada had an RBI hit back in the second, and that one's scooped out by Saltalamacchia. Well, Zach Wheeler is out on deck, so it looks like he's going to try and continue on.
I like what
106 pitches.
Terry's been kind of stretching these guys out. I like it.
He will have extra rest before his next start because of the All-Star break. Mets have not yet announced their rotation for after the break, but everybody will get at least an extra day or two. Tejada curls one down the right field line. Stanton over and makes the reaching catch. Nice play by Stanton for the first out.
That's why I love the quote. Well, Keith, here you go with the catch.
Stanton, you know what, is a pretty doggone good defensive outfielder.
And he's made himself better.
Yeah, he gets to the ball. He got a strong arm. We all know about the arm, but just getting to balls and covering ground, he can play defense. He's not a one-dimensional player.
So Wheeler, who picked up an RBI double back in the second, gets his third bat of the night.
I was saying that I love the quote from David Price, who said, if you want to be an upper echelon pitcher, 7 is the new 6. That quality start is out the window. You've got to go 7 innings to be considered one of the elite pitchers. And the Mets have done it game after game here with their starters.
Well, they've had 4 straight starts now where the starter has gone at least 7. It's the first time they've done that in 2 years. They haven't had a stretch of 5 straight starts with 7 innings or more since 2011. So
it just helps the bullpen out so much. Gives them a breather. Look how well Torres has been pitching lately because he's been rested sufficiently.
Wheeler gets a beauty of a bunt down. And Hatcher makes the play. 1-3 on the sacrifice. And Lagares now at second. Time for your AT&T fan photo of the night. And it comes to us from Wyman Wong, and Keith is featured. Wrong guy has the mustache.
Got a 5 o'clock shadow. He's got him. Hey, I remember that slugger. I told him he'd go places with that mustache.
And I'm sure he has. Now it's Granderson, who's 0 for 3 tonight. Lagares at second and 2 out. Mets with a run home here in the 6th. Murphy would be next. Well, this could be a very productive night for the Mets as they try and inch their way back into some semblance of contention. Braves lost. Nationals are down 6-1 to the Phillies in the 7th. If the Mets were to win and the Nationals lose, the Mets would be 7 out, which isn't, it's not first place, but it's
not out of it.
Getting closer. Granderson out on strikes to end the inning, but the Mets tack on a run. Neuenhuis with a triple. Lagares singles him in. 7-1 New York after 6. bank. 2 more games to go after tonight before the All-Star break. And then the Mets are in San Diego, Seattle, and Milwaukee after the All-Star game, which will be Tuesday in Minneapolis.
I love San Diego. They always have 3 different starting times. Never the same.
Just trying to keep you guessing. Jared Saltalamacchia will lead off in the 7th inning against Zach Wheeler, who's been given an extra inning to work at 106 pitches on the night.
You know, Gary, these are little games that you can play as a pitcher. You say to yourself, you know what? Everyone else before me has gone 7 innings. I'm getting 3 outs here. Somehow, some way.
He's got the lower third of the order to face. Saltalamacchia has struck out, walked. He scored the only Marlins run. That was in the 5th. Echeverria on deck, and then the pitcher spot.
You know, Gary, you were asking before about how do you know if you're hurt or the pain you have after pitching. When you become a professional, what happens is that I found the only way to get rid of the pain was to throw. So the day after, it didn't matter how bad you felt. You'd go over there and play soft toss, and somehow, some way, it would loosen up after a while. And then, you know, then you felt fine. But I always found throwing every day was the key, because there were some days that you'd get out there and you felt like Keith was talking about. You couldn't lift your arm to throw.
Wheeler takes care of Saltalamacchia, his 6th strikeout.
Took care of him in easy fashion.
A beautiful motion, high leg kick, hands come together, curl that foot in, and the long stride. I mean, he is letting go of that baseball as close to home plate as you'll see any pitcher on the Mets staff.
Now it's Echeverria, who's 2 for 2, has taken the ball to right field for a double and a single. Justin Bour is out on deck to be a pinch hitter.
Nice curve. You see, you get that extra inning and you kind of get up a little steam and a little rhythm.
But also sometimes, Keith, you don't have all that energy, or you're not throwing as hard, but now you're learning how to pitch. The touch of spinning the baseball, the location of your pitches.
Got that one right off the thumbs of Echeverria. There's Wheeler's line so far tonight. Gave up only 1 hit in the first 3 innings. Got a great defensive play, actually 2, including one of his own, to avoid a run scoring in the 4th.
Now, after you've thrown that pitch up and in, you got it on the thumbs. What is he thinking? I don't want to be embarrassed and jammed again. You can go away and dart a fastball for a strike.
Easy 2 hopper to right. 2 out. Now Justin Bour, the lone left-handed bat on Miami's bench, will be the pinch hitter. Bour is a guy who is here because of his power, but still looking for his first big league home run.
He's 0 for 11 as a pinch hitter. Only 2 at bats against left-handers, and that's going to be it. It looks like.
So after getting the first 2 outs with ease here in the 7th inning and working with a 6-run lead, that's enough for Zach Wheeler, and he'll exit after 6 2/3. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Verizon. Wheeler's work is done. Edgin coming in. We'll be right back. top of the 7th.
Oh, the streak's over, but that first batter face. Look at those numbers during that streak. Amazing for Josh.
Jason Hayward ended that streak. Justin Boras swings at the first one. New streak started. Juan Lagares makes the catch. One pitch. Edgin gets his man to complete Zach Wheeler's 7th inning. That takes us to stretch time at Citi Field. It's been all Mets tonight, 7-1. All-Star Game. You can purchase 2 tickets for just $28 for games through Sunday. That includes the Huey Lewis post-game concert tomorrow and Family Sunday. To get your savings, go to Mets.com/Murphy. Time for your Verizon trivia question. The only 5 pitchers to appear in 300 games out of the bullpen for the Mets.
300 games out of the pen. Going to be a couple left-handers. I know that.
Well, you chew on that. Dan Jennings will come on to pitch for the Marlins.
Jennings loves it here in Citi Field. He's never given up an earned run in 6 appearances so far.
All right, I think I got 4.
4.
How many did we say there were? 5?
5.
5. That's very good, Gary.
300 appearances.
Well, I could be wrong.
Well, that's why you were on the winning team in that battle of broadcast.
No, wait a second. We need to rewind that, as Zach Wheeler dominated the Marlins again tonight. Look at those career numbers against Miami.
Wow.
ERA 1.04 now for his career in 5 starts against the Marlins. Horses for courses, right?
Yeah.
Murphy hits one out to center field, and Ozuna's got it one away. If you saw last night, the winning piece of that battle of the broadcasters was that last pyramid type segment.
Yeah.
And I think we got 13 right.
We did.
And you got the first 11, if I'm not mistaken.
You rattled them off.
But
I had them all. I couldn't get a word, and he beat me to the punch.
We would not have won without Mr. Ninth Inning clutch guy getting Al Harrison and Ron Hunt.
The last 2.
Pull it out of the fire.
I did.
I wouldn't have gotten either of those.
You looked at, you gave me that look. I didn't know.
I was like,
and I went, oh gosh. I got very tense.
I mean, if you needed a big hit in the 9th inning, who did you want at the plate?
Ronnie,
other than this guy?
Ronnie set the table with 11 in a row, like rapid fire, staccato.
well, I thought you were very tense the whole show, but I didn't think it was about Ron Hunter, Al Harrison.
I think they edited out Keith's best line after like the first round when he said, "I'm 0 for 3 and a walk."
Yes. They did edit that out?
I think so. They?
I missed the first 3, folks, and then I was afraid in the last one, so I passed. So I was 0 for 3 of the walk.
David Wright 3 for 3 with a 2-run homer tonight. Bet you if you put David on that trivia show, he grew up a Met fan. I bet you he'd get most of the questions.
Oh, really?
Right?
Yeah. What would be his teams? How old is he?
Well, he was born in the 80s.
Okay, but he was too young, right, for our team.
And David has his 4th hit of the night. Now, he'd be big on the Bobby Bonilla teams and the 99 and 2000 teams.
Yeah.
Those would be his teams.
Well, Duda, 14th home run, 48th RBI of the season. Lucas on pace for 90 ribeye steaks. Got a fastball meant to be sinker away, and inner half and upper tank-a-roni.
Upper tank and killed the beer. All in one swat.
I'm thinking about David. David was a Mets fan because he was a fan of the Tides, right? He used to go
grew up in Norfolk.
Yeah.
He went to see Randy Milligan. Big years.
He would watch a lot of the guys before they went to the Mets, so became a fan of those AAA guys.
I would love to see the Mets. It just seems to me that it always was the Tidewater Tides. It was the AAA team.
No.
Forever.
And Norfolk Tides after that, right?
Somewhere in Las Vegas, there's a fan of the 51s who's growing up a big Met fan, and maybe he'll play for the Mets someday.
There you go.
Let's keep him off the tables. He might.
Yeah, the casino.
Some pretty good talents come out of Vegas, led by a guy going in the Hall of Fame this summer, Greg Maddux.
That's right.
One and 2 to Duda. By the way, 19th 4-hit game in David Wright's career. Never had a 5-hit game, but 19 4-hit games. I think the last 5-hit game for Met is still Ronnie Polino, right?
Oh boy. Yeah, what was he? 5 for 7 that night, or 5 for 6 in Philadelphia?
Right.
His first game back after an injury or suspension, or
it was
something.
the night. Remember, I remember it. The reason I remember it's the night we got Bin Laden. That was the night Ronnie Polino got 5 hits. We weren't doing that game. It was a national TV game, I think. Cameraman Al was there. He just smiled at me. He was part of that big night.
Who knows? He fibs a lot.
Put him on the trivia. Get everyone on.
Yeah.
Everyone. 2-2 to Duda. Foul back. If our director Bill Webb were on the trivia, he'd get them all right, but he'd mispronounce every name and he'd be disqualified.
That's right. I remember I got one wrong. Instead of saying Jay Payton, I said the gloves, Gary Payton. How bad is that?
You were half right.
Listen, if you watch Jeopardy, you know what to do. Say the last name. Make them ask you for both names if you have to.
2-2 from Jennings, and Duda takes just outside.
No, don't beg. That missed.
Highlight for me, though, was when Keith couldn't remember that Marty Barrett made the last out in the 86.
I know. I couldn't know.
And Kevin goes, "You played in the game."
No. I couldn't think of the name. I knew the second baseman made the last out. I just couldn't. I couldn't bring it. You remember the shortstop because of the name.
Spike Owen. Duda drills one to center. Ozuna back, and he pulls this one in for the long second out. Right back to first, 2 away. Travis d'Arnaud coming up, and we check in with Steve Gelb. Steve?
Well, I can't remember which one of you said it, either Keith or Ron earlier in the week, but you called Travis d'Arnaud's bad start to the season paralysis by analysis. And let me tell you, you have no idea. I was talking to Travis d'Arnaud about it, and he said he would not just try and make adjustments day in, day out, but he'd try to make them in his at-bats, and not just one specific adjustment. He'd try and alter where his hands were. He'd open his stance. He'd close his stance. He'd move his front foot forward and back, basically throwing anything against the wall, just trying to get right. He was so in his own head. Then he gets sent down to AAA, and the first day that he could have played, he was out of the lineup. The reason? The coaching staff wanted him to get his head right, and they helped out. Wally Backman, George Greer, Frank Viola, they all sat him down. They had a 2-hour meeting in which baseball was barely discussed, only his mental approach to things. He said that after that meeting, he really thought and simplified it to himself. It's all about just seeing the ball and hitting the ball. He came up as a pinch hitter that night in Vegas, hit the ball hard, never looked back.
2-hour meeting. I'd fall asleep. When I got sent down, Kim Boyer came up to me and said, "You're coming out early every day. I'm going to throw to you, and you're going to pull. Because Harry Walker had me inside out.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Well, they said, Tim, why are you thinking so much? Did you think at any other level? As d'Arnaud gets into this one. They said, did you think at any other level? He said, absolutely not. They said, why are you thinking now? Simple enough, but sometimes it just takes that.
d'Arnaud just missing that one. On to the 8th we go. It's been a big Met night. 4 hits for Wright and a 7-1 lead. Cool. Here we go to the 8th inning. Top of the batting order, Christian Yelich faces Josh Edgen, who threw a 1 pitch to get the final out in the 7th. Yelich 1 for 3. He's driven in the only Marlin run tonight with a base hit his last time up. Yelich, Solano, and Stanton. We'll see whether Edgen just gets the 1 batter if they actually let him face a couple of right-hand hitters.
Cute.
Listen to Howie.
Well, they better be listening to the ball game.
Or One Direction, one or the other.
You think Mr. Your father, Ron, when you go to a ball game, would let you put the earphones on, listen to music?
Yeah, if he could take it and snap it on my ear a couple times.
I could just see Juan. Juan wouldn't let us bring it to the park.
They hadn't invented the Walkman when you were going to games as a kid. Who are we kidding? Not sure they had invented the phonograph.
Transistor radio.
Very cute.
Got him with a slider. Edgin takes care of Yelich for the first out in the 8th. And that's going to be the end of his stint.
Fishing for the bad slider. That old Elvin Bishop song, going fish, fish. Fish, fish, fishing.
So Edgin gets 2 left-hand hitters out, one in the 7th, one in the 8th. Now Vic Black will go after the righties. 7-1 Mets in the 8th. We'll be right back to Citi Field.
See all the clay and mud, not mud, but dirt caked in the spikes of Travis d'Arnaud.
So, Keith, when the infielders all converge there near the mound while the relief pitcher's warming up, what are you guys talking about?
In a game like this where there's no stress, Gary, you don't want to know.
No, what are you doing during the break? Where are you going?
Yeah.
Stuff like that, right?
It's nice of you to clean it up for him, Ronnie.
I thought he was going to go there.
We're little I spies out there, you know.
You did go there. You couldn't help yourself.
Vic Black last pitched on Wednesday night. Got 3 outs against the Braves without allowing a run or a hit. He'll face Donovan Solano with 1 out and nobody on. And Solano pops up the first one he sees. Curtis Granderson under it. 2 out. Well, 1 pitch, 1 retired for Black. And we'll answer our Verizon trivia question. 5 pitchers for the Mets, 300 games. I got Franco, Orozco, McGraw, and Benitez. I got 1.
Oh, Pedro Feliciano.
Oh. Pedro Feliciano. How can we forget him? 92 games won.
So 4 lefties.
Yep. And Benitez.
Rondo Benitez had a great career here, right? Or how do you describe it?
Very, very effective regular seasons until crunch time.
Yep.
Tough times when the race was on the line, and then tough times in the postseason.
I liked Armando very much. Fun-loving guy.
What was it? Was it a tighten up, or was it overthrowing?
He coughed it up.
Yeah, he was not the most effective pitcher in crunch time, but June, July, he'd roll off 25 saves in a row.
Wow.
And not be touched.
Good fastball, split finger.
Yes. Okay. Stanton fouls it back. By the way, next on that list, Bobby Parnell.
Wow.
I never would have thought that. 291 appearances out of the bullpen. That is 6th on the Mets all-time list.
Wow.
So he certainly would have been over 300 this year had he not gotten hurt opening day. Into shallow right, and that'll fall for a hit for Giancarlo Stanton. So a little jam shot for Stanton's first hit of the night. That snaps an 0 for 14 stretch for him.
Jammed him, but see how he stays level, folks. This is the NL home run leader. He stays level on the high pitch, and that's why he hits 2 irons out of the ballpark, and that's why when he gets jammed or hits it off the end of the bat, he hits a strong enough to hit a soft liner out in the outfield for a base hit.
That's why he's hitting 300.
Thank you.
So here's Casey McGee, 1 for 3, a double back in the 4th. Out to the gap in left center. Long run back for Lagares, and he gets there. No problem. Side retired. Off the bat, it's a double. Lagares makes it look easy. And so it goes. Where extra base hits go to die. 7-1 Mets in the 8th. By your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. Visit them on the web at searchmercedes.com. That's how you block the plate. Kirk Neuenhuis leads off against the new Marlins pitcher Kevin Gregg. New old Marlins pitcher.
Right, veteran pitcher Gregg.
Neuenhuis tripled off the fence in left center and scored a run in the 6th. 1 for 3 on the night.
Here's his numbers this year. Only 10 games. He's bounced around some.
Signed in early June after being let go by the Cubs. And he gets Neuenhuis for the first out in the home 8th. Driver on the majors brought to you by Cadillac. Jordan Zimmerman, who's supposed to be going to the All-Star game, left the Nats game in Philadelphia tonight with an injury. Nats are down 6-2 in the bottom of the 8th. Brewers, who have lost 9 of 10, up early on the Cardinals 6-0. And a walk-off hit by Justin Ruggiano in the bottom of the 9th. Cubs beat the Braves today 5-4. Juan Lagares 2 for 3 tonight. A single, a double. He's driven in a run. He scored a run. And a fastball strike, 1-1. So Jerry's Familia gets up in the bullpen. Echeverria gets in front of the grounder. Low throw. Safe. Echeverria has had a difficult time defensively every time we've seen the Marlins this year.
He's very talented. And we're going to take a look. There's no way a ball hit this hard, which is routine. There's no way. Oh, it's a terrible throw.
Just never got the right.
He had nothing on the throw. He's got to give Lagares a base hit, though, right?
Oh, of course. You have to.
That's just, he must have had that ball. He must have done a changeup.
Looked like he never got the good grip on it.
Circle change. Not only not the good grip, I thought he lottie-dot that play. You know, I think he forgot at the last second that Lagares has that kind of speed.
So third hit of the night for Lagares. That one was a gift. And now Ruben Tejada. But it also shows you the value of always running hard. I mean, it's a routine ground ball to short. Some guys, and we saw it with the Braves, they got a lot of guys who just would lollygag down to first. Lagares runs hard every time, and that time he got a hit out of it.
Well, Lagares.
Double play ball for Echeverria. And the turn by Solano. They get the 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. So on we go to the ninth. Mets need 3 outs to secure a win against Miami. Surgery, 2-run homers for David Wright and Lucas Duda. David with his 19th 4-hit game of his career. Juan Lagares has added a 3-hit night. Another big offensive game for the Mets behind the great pitching of Zach Wheeler. And now Jerry's Familia will try and close it out.
Well, it's interesting. Familia was looked like he was suffering from a little tired arm. They were trying to give him some rest, but they're going to pitch him right up to the All-Star break.
Well, he's had a couple of days off since his last outing, but, you know, 6-run lead in the 9th inning. This would feel like a Buddy Carlisle kind of an inning.
Well, obviously he has told the coaching staff that he is feeling good again. So here he is.
But tomorrow maybe you'll have a 1-run game in the 8th, and you'll need those bullets.
I'm with you on that. And he'll have to run out there and provide those bullets.
Garrett Jones takes ball 1 as we start the 9th inning. So after Zach Wheeler went 6 2/3 and allowed a run on 5 hits, Josh Edgin and Vic Black each got a couple of outs, and now Familia will be asked to get the final 3. And Jones takes a strike, 1-1. Jones is 0 for 3. Came close to an infield hit in the 4th inning with a runner at third base and a dribbler up the third base line. Wheeler made a terrific play to get him by an eyelash at first. Maybe. Marlins considered challenging but did not. Jones hits one into the shift, and Murphy makes the play, 1 away. So 1 out and nobody on. Now Marcell Ozuna. Well, we've talked a lot about the Mets' offensive resurgence, 7 runs and 12 hits tonight, but consider this also, with the Mets on the verge of making it 5 wins in their last 6 games. In these 6 games, Met hitters have struck out 26 times. That's a little under 4.5 per game, about half their strikeout rate from earlier in the season.
Exactly. Why is that? Because they're swinging earlier in the count. They're not always getting to 2 strikes.
That is the next SNY telecast Sunday, the final game before the All-Star break, with Jacob deGrom on the mound. We'll join you at 12:30. Tomorrow's game on Pix 11, a 4 o'clock start.
Ooh.
Weak swing by Ozuna. Duda makes the play to Familia, and quickly there were 2 out. Coming up tonight on Geico Sports Night, finally a denouement in the LeBron situation, and we'll find out about Melo as well. And squirrels, water skiing. That's Chris Carlin. Geico Sports Night tonight after the post game. Thanks, Chris. Now I'm looking forward to the squirrel.
Have you seen? There's one minor league ballpark that one of the promotions is during the game. They have monkeys riding dogs. Have you seen that one yet?
No.
Yeah.
Can't believe I missed that.
Yeah, go to YouTube. You'll find a
monkeysridingdogs.com. Here's Salt Lamacchia with the Marlins down to their final out. Well, they're in the 9th inning in Philly. The Phillies lead the Nats 6-2. If that holds up and the Mets win this, then the Mets would be within 7 games of the top in the National League East. It was 11 not very long ago. And that is now a final. Phillies beat the Nats 6-2. Jimmy Rollins 2 home runs. But more importantly for the Nats, perhaps, they'll be holding their breath to find out about Jordan Zimmerman and the extent of the injury that knocked him out of that game. Hit sharply, but right at David Wright, alone on the left side of the infield, and that'll do it. A 1-2-3 inning for J. Reese Familia, and the Mets wrap up an easy victory over the Marlins in the opener of this series. 2-run homers for Duda and Wright. A 4-hit game for David. Another strong outing for Wheeler against the Marlins as the Mets win it 7-1.
Well, I think it's great to see Zach Wheeler get to 5 wins before the break. Dominance over the Marlins, and Keith, some power and runs by the Mets.
Well, yes, it's good to see David Wright bust out with a 4-hit day. He scored 2 runs, hit his 8th home run of the season. It drove in the 2-run shot. Lucas Duda continues his surge, his 14th home run. That's his 48th RBIs, and that 2-run shot that made it 4-0. So the Mets were in complete control of this game. They had 12 hits in the Wago, 3 hits from Lagares. So all in all, offensively, you got to love it.
And probably just as impressive, they did it against a pitcher who had just stifled them completely. Henderson Alvarez gave up the 2 long home runs to Wright and Duda, and the Mets whacked him around for 6 runs in 5 innings. For every Mets win, the Mets Foundation is proud to contribute $2,500 to the Cats Women's Hospital and the Cats Institute for Women's Health. For more information, visit northshorelij.com/KIWH. This win brings the total contribution so far this season to $107,500.
Mets defeat the Marlins 7-1. Let's send it downstairs to Steve Gelb. Steve?
Thanks, Gary. 4 for 4. Another home run for David Wright. And David, you and Lucas both going yard today. Suddenly, Citi Field's a bandbox. What's been the difference here the last couple of weeks or so?
I don't know about that. We've been getting great pitching. Starts with that. Gives us a lot of momentum offensively, and we can just go up there, score a few runs, and we feel good about it.
How good does the offense feel as a group? And, they say hitting's contagious. Is that something you're feeling with this group right now?
Yeah, of course. We've had some guys swing the bats well, and hitting really is contagious. So just going up there, seems like we're getting a lot of situations with runners in scoring position, and we're coming through.
And you've been doing it against some pitchers that have been dominating the league. I mean, Henderson Alvarez hasn't lost in almost 2 months. You, Darvish, Tehran. Does that make it an even better sign, the type of pitchers you're able to do it against?
Yeah, Henderson's been dominating us all year, so to come get a win against him feels good, and obviously he's one of the best in the National League, but we're swinging some good bats, and we're able to find some holes tonight.
And you mentioned the pitching, Zach Wheeler, another strong outing. How good a sign is that for the team?
Yeah, our pitching's been fantastic, and when we win, it's because of our pitching. Offensively, like I said, if we feel we have a couple big innings, we can normally win the game with how good our bullpen and our starters have been.
David Wright, congratulations. Thanks.
Thank you.
Gary, back to you.
Big night for David Wright, his 19th career 4-hit game, including a second deck home run for David as he hit one out to left that just kept on going. Mets win this one 7-1. More good feelings from Citi Field in a moment.